Hello, I'm NP. So after reading the title, you may ask rightfully that, okay, mate, why the hell are you making this video just like 4 months after the release of this game? Well, there are two practical reasons behind it. Thing one, initial price. To keep costs at bay, I never buy a game that's not on sale. This tiny agreement with myself just keeps gaming as a hobby and it doesn't turn into a madness. During the recent spring sale on Steam, there was quite a nice discount on this game, and also I had a 20, maybe 30% off because I'm an owner of DiRT Rally 2. So there was a price that it's very hard to say no, especially if you are a fan of rally games. And the second reason is bugs. I think we as gamers could learn quite well during the last couple of years that version 1.00000 is actually a public testing beta. No Man's Sky, Fallout 76 and Starfield, as we can see, I think I shouldn't even continue. Chris has already reviewed a couple of them. So my stance considering these are just don't be so fucking angry, give them a little time and they will fix it. So a couple of months after the first release, probably there will be performance fixes, glitch fixes, sexy as X fixes and stuff. I just let them fix their game and then I get it. So after 10 hours, as a rally fan and a fan of DiRT Rally series, how do I like this game? Much. Thank you, goodbye. So mostly it's a positive experience. The new tracks are great, I think, as well as career mode. The car behavior improved on tarmac as well. There is a car building option that's quite minimalistic but fun, nevertheless. Also, after 4 months in existence, I can now notice performance issues that people reported back in the time. But anyway, I can't understand it. It's 2024, we have DLSS, we have FSR, so if nowadays if you're experiencing frame drops, just enable the damn upscaling technologies. I have a pretty modest system. It's a Ryzen 5 3600, 36 gigs of RAM and a Radeon RX 570. With FSR on, it can easily spit out some 60-ish FPS 1080p. So EA SPORTS WRC is a fine game, I like it. Anyway, I have some strange issues with it. First of all, my force feedback wheel has something off. I cannot point exactly what. After 10 hours I'm still in the middle of some calibrations, like Garrus from Mass Effect. So it's off. I think the only thing that is done properly is the speed-sensitive steering. But when it comes to the feedback about when the car starts to lose the grip, I just get nothing. All the bumpy corners feel like smooth, and if you jump and you land, they all feel the same, as if nothing happened. So it's strange. My first question was, well, maybe something is wrong with my wheel or myself. So I started to test all my previous racing sims. You know, the likes of Assetto Corsa Competizione, DiRT Rally series, of course, AMS, and so on and so forth. Even very old games like GTR2 or GT Legends. Not to mention BeamNG.drive, that has an awesome force feedback, I think. So to my surprise, everything was fine, just like before. All of these sims gave some excellent feedback of what's actually happening between the wheel and the surface. So back to WRC, Sports, EA, Sports, WRC, Sim. As a consequence of this force feedback anomaly, This game just failed to give this initial kick to me, as all the previous sim titles I've mentioned. And when it comes to its closest siblings, Dirt Rally 1 and 2.0, I think I didn't even have to touch the force feedback settings at all. Maybe the most problematic was Assetto Corsa, but I think it took only 1 hour to set it right. But in EA Sports WRC, well, it's 10 hours past and I'm still baffled and don't seem to understand what the problem is. As a consequence of this, I can feel all the cars to be pretty unpredictable. So they seem to make a lot of strange reactions, or out of the blue spinning and stuff like that, and I have no idea what happened. Most probably it will be some sort of calibration issue, but maybe it will be resolved sometime in the future, and it has nothing to do with this game. I don't know. Okay, the next strange thing I could notice is that my brain waited for a sequel to the Dirt Rally series, and it's not that. Rather, it feels like to be an evolution of previous WRC games. You know, the franchise that ceased to exist because of EA licensing. I have no negative feelings about it because that's life, you know. Licenses tend to exchange owners. Maybe I'm wrong about it, but I think around the 90s, for example, the F1 license belonged to Electronic Arts, EA Sports, then Microprose, then Ubisoft, then Sony, then at some point to Codemasters, then by purchasing Codemasters it went back to EA Sports. So quite a full loop, I think. So EA Sports WRC, well, it doesn't feel anything like Dirt Rally 3.0. It rather feels like WRC 15 or something, I lost count. I don't know, maybe as the car behaves is more realistic this way. I don't know. I'm a simple everyday driver on the road and I'm still alive, so I haven't driven a rally car yet. All I know is when I drive a rally sim, I want to drive a beast on a leash. A sideways dancing car that lets me keep the control, but also gives me the feel that it can kill me every second. And Dirt Rally 1 and 2 gives me that sort of chill. And EA Sports WRC feels a sort of safe, maybe? Well, apart from force feedback anomalies that make your car spin suddenly. And there is another strange thing, it's very hard to describe, but I try to. So, if I try to imagine the camera that recorded the Dirt Rally 2.0, you know, the headcam showing the dashboard, the wheel, and all the stuff, I always imagine something very heavy, you know, something like a Sony Alpha, a rather heavy handheld cam that is capable of shooting these warm, rich, movie-grade colors. But when it comes to EA Sports WRC, I can picture a Xiaomi Red mobile phone attached to the helmet. You know, there's no problem with it, but the Sony camera and the Xiaomi phone can record 1080p videos at 60 FPS. But if you look at the colors and the depth, well, I like the larger-than-life picture of the Sony. So I don't know, maybe EA Sports WRC feels a little flat or cold, maybe? So then, another strange thing. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but apart from obviously different locations, you know, winter or exotic, the rest feels like as if they were placed around the same country. Maybe it has something to do with realism, because most of these stages are situated around the northern hemisphere, And maybe in the reality these sceneries are quite similar. I don't know. But when I think about Dirt Rally 2.0 and just I think about two stages that are virtually not further from each other than 500 kilometers, Rally of Wales and Rally of Scotland, both sceneries look drastically different. I think having such a strong taste was a very good thing, and I miss it a little, despite the fact that the tracks themselves are pretty exciting. A lot of dynamic changes, a lot of twists. So these tracks are really good in EA Sports WRC. They just... if someone told me that this is our new game called Rally de France from Ubisoft, I would say, fine, I can see. And finally, the last strange thing I could notice in EA Sports WRC. No VR support. Well, at least as of March of 2024. Maybe it didn't become as popular as it would deserve, and there is some realistic reason behind that, because for many people, using a VR headset would cause some pretty serious motion sickness. I can get it. But for those guys whom doesn't, well, racing in VR is quite a blast. And as EA Sports WRC uses Unreal Engine 4, well, it's very hard to understand for me of not using this option of Unreal Engine, because it's included there. So, a fresh racing game based on Unreal Engine having no VR option? Well, it's strange. Well, around the end, I may sounded a little bit like complaining about a lot of things, and more like complaining than praising, and I do like this sim. And surely I will resolve my force feedback wheel issue this way or another, although I will get used to the color grading and stuff. But when it comes to the question that can it replace my favorite rally sim, Dirt Rally 2.0, I would say most probably not. Of course, that doesn't mean that it cannot change later on. Who knows, maybe it will become my favorite rally sim. But for the moment, my favorite rally sim that's not Dirt Rally 2.0 is BeamNG.drive. Well, that's all about it. See you somewhere in time.